Hey, this is Sashank. I wanted to show you a product that we're working on for helping Microsoft .NET developers build cloud applications very quickly and efficiently. The product is at a level where I want to seek some feedback, and so I wanted to approach senior developers such as yourself to take a look and maybe give us 15 minutes so we can seek your feedback. The idea is that we build a framework as a service. So it brings together infrastructure as a service, backend as a service, and API libraries. It generates some starter code and delivers it to the developer's private GitHub so that they can get to the code that matters to the business as quickly as possible while retaining control and while having a health monitor for the entire system throughout the product development lifecycle without really having to do the work. So in ways it empowers them to work at the capacity of an entire team without having to compromise quality at any level. So let's I want to give you a quick walkthrough. I want to show you how easy it is to create a MVC .NET Core application in the cloud in this particular session. So when you go to bossframework.com and get started, it launches the console. You can start a free trial. There is no obligation. I'm going to create an application as a regular user. So I'm logging in with my GitHub. When I get in, I see all the applications that I have already created, right? So we look at what is created, but let's see how an application is created to start with. So I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to call it my Sunday app. And I'm going to say this is a .NET Core application. It's an MVC application. I can select my database, MySQL or Postgres. So let me say Postgres. So the foundational services that belong in every single product that do not directly impact the business, but are relevant to the product's functioning, which developers have to build again and again and again. So we wanted to build that in a very standardized manner and deliver those as services and some starter code. So what we're doing is user management, OAuth 2 based authentication and authorization, permission management, information architecture. So when a person logs in, it's based on his permissions, right? Whatever he sees is based on his permission. Email, SendGrid integration. All of these are a part of the starter code and they're done as web services with OData, so they can extend functionality if they need to. Default roles and permissions, user and super admin are automatically created. I'm gonna have so the developer is created as a super admin by default because that is the first person that will be logging into the application. So in this case, I'm the developer. I'm going to create a password. So my starter application, I can log into that with this. Analytics, again, Hotjar and Google Analytics. We are, as you can see, trying to integrate all the standard tools that go into general application development. So this starter code that's created is delivered to my private GitHub. So I'm authorizing BOS to do that, to create that repo and to deliver it to my GitHub. That's authorized. And that's the name of the repo. Infrastructure, again, we want to keep it simple. Operating system is Windows or Linux. How do you want to set it up? Is this a shared server or a dedicated server? That determines cost, right? So if I go to a dedicated server, you'll see that the cost changes a little bit. Is this Kubernetes or not? If it is Kubernetes, how many pods? All of this is automatically set up for auto scale. So horizontal and vertical scaling are automatically included in the backend. And all of what I'm selecting, the details are here, right? And this is generated as a PDF and delivered to my email as well as it's available in the dashboard. We'll look at that in a minute. This is the URL. Alerting and monitoring, if there is a server issue, I get to know I can change the email address to whoever needs to get that if need be. And then finally CI/CD. So the pipeline is set up. It's the develop branch which is going to be created. I can rename that. And all the build logs will be delivered to my email. So that's basically it. I can launch from there. Once I launch, and I pay for it, of course, it starts processing and it takes about 2 minutes, maybe less, to set all of this up. So it's going to take about 2 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this for right now. It'll happen in the back end. I'll go back to my applications, to my active applications, and show you. So my Sunday app is already here. It's being created. I'll go to one of the applications that I've already created to show you what is available to me. So the access, the URL, the super admin information, the API credentials, the client ID and client secret, the web source code. So this is opening my GitHub, my private GitHub, as you can see, right? So it is MVC code in .NET Core, my develop branch. That's the application that has been created. It's a very simple application, so I'm gonna log in with the credentials that we created earlier. And when I log in, I see it's a very simple vanilla UI. There's my profile. There is users. The first user, which is myself, is already here. I can change password, I can edit, deactivate, or I can add a new user. Roles and permissions. So these are the two roles that were created. I can add more, but I can also manage permissions once I create a role. And that's at an attribute level. So this is tied into the information architecture API, so all of that is done automatically for me. I can invite my team members. This is the application management, where I can manage the modules and operations, roles and permissions, users, the email templates. Here's the initial application setup log that has been created, which is a nicely done PDF file. This is also delivered to my email, so I can send it to my client, to my boss, to my team, as the case may apply. And then the recent activities here, the build logs, the API activity, the web server logs and stats, and the database monitor logs and stats. So all of this is here. I also receive emails whenever something is going wrong. So I can get to the code that I have to build immediately. My CI/CD is set up, and again, automation of everything that is automatable. So please take a look, and if you're interested, I'd love to speak with you and get your feedback and see how we can make it extremely easy and compelling for Microsoft developers. Thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.